Overnight in Times Square, a shocking incident occurred as two NYPD officers were ambushed and pepper-sprayed by a suspect. A video from the scene shows the aftermath: an ambulance transporting the injured officers to the hospital. It's brazen. Assault in one of the world's busiest public areas has put many law-abiding citizens on edge. But even as the city reels from rising violence, New York is on the verge of a major political shift, electing its first ever socialist mayor. Zorhan Mandami, a progressive assembly member, is leading the polls and making waves with a platform that includes defying ICE and preventing the deportation of undocumented immigrants, even those with criminal records. Critics warn this could create a dangerous precedent. Some even claim that if former President Trump doesn't intervene legally, New York could soon be led by a self-proclaimed communist. Meanwhile, Mandami's fiery rhetoric and protest history are gaining national attention in a separate but equally concerning development. Authorities report that a masked arsonist torched 11 NYPD vehicles and then proudly took credit online. These incidents, combined with a surge in anti-ICE demonstrations and attacks on law enforcement, paint a troubling picture of a city on edge. Mandami's critics argue that his agenda, promoting the redistribution of wealth and socializing housing and grocery stores, will only deepen the chaos. Supporters, however, view him as a visionary. A progressive Muslim immigrant, Mandami has declared himself Donald Trump's worst nightmare. He's been arrested at protests and called out by opponents who fear his rise represents a radical departure from American norms. They warn that a city under his control will become unrecognizable, with escalating violence, anti-police sentiment, type divisions. Despite this, Mandami's popularity is growing. His bold promises to make New York more affordable and equitable resonate with many, especially as the city grapples with soaring costs and housing shortages. Ironically, some argue his vision might be realized not through reform, but through collapse rioting, mass departures of residents. Economic decline could reduce pressure on housing and food supply. But the implications go far beyond New York. If Mandami wins, it could energize the progressive movement nationwide or doom it. His rise could spark a mass exodus from deep blue cities and give conservatives powerful evidence of what they call socialist failure. National Democrats worry that Mandami's radical platform, including anti-capitalist rhetoric, will damage the party's image in Middle America and further polarize the electorate. Recent polling shows Mandami clobbering former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary, winning a decisive 56 to 44% lead. It was the highest turnout for a mayoral primary since 1989. While Cuomo had name recognition, Mandami captivated the base with energy, charisma, and unapologetic progressivism. Well, the election result was less a rejection of Cuomo than a full embrace of a new, far-left vision. Mandami's platform includes redistributing property tax burdens from outer boroughs to wealthy, predominantly white neighborhoods. While critics accuse him of racializing tax policy, he defends it as a correction of systemic inequality. His supporters argue that taxing the rich more aggressively is not radical, just overdue. In many affluent neighborhoods, residents themselves appear to agree. Having overwhelmingly voted blue in recent elections, Wall Street and big business, however, are not amused. With threats of higher taxes, tighter regulations, and economic upheaval, many financial leaders are considering relocating. Experts warn that a shrinking tax base will cripple the city's ability to fund Mandami's social programs. But if history is any guide, failures may only embolden his movement, which could blame sabotage or not going far enough, rather than rethinking the ideology itself. For the rest of America, this could be the breaking point. With the Democratic Party increasingly influenced by its most radical voices, centrist and moderate voters may shift further to the right. Progressives might win urban battles but lose the national war. And if Mandami has become mayor in New York, may find itself not only battling crime and economic decay, but also becoming ground zero for the ideological war shaping America's future.